welcome to Fayette County Public Library Storytime. I'm Miss Kim and this is Miss Lisa, and we have a good story to start off with today. One eye, two eyes, three eyes. A very grim fairy tale. There they are, one eye, two eyes, three eyes. Once there were three sisters who lived together in a cottage in the woods. They had been there for as long as they could remember, and they never saw anyone else. Now the oldest sister was no different from other people. Her name was One Eye. She had just one eye right in the middle of her forehead. The middle sister was also quite ordinary. Her name was Three Eyes. She had one eye on her forehead and one on each side of her face. But the youngest sister was different. Her name was Two Eyes, and that's just what she had. Because Two Eyes was not like the others, her older sisters were ashamed of her and picked on her all the time. They dressed her in ragged hand-me-downs and only let her eat leftovers. Now the sisters owned a goat, and every day Two Eyes took it to the meadow to graze. One morning, when she'd had hardly anything to eat, she sat on the grass and cried her two eyes out. All at once an old woman stood before her, but the biggest surprise was that this woman had two eyes, just like Two Eyes herself. "What's wrong, my dear?" asked the woman. "It's my sisters," Two Eyes told her. "They never give me enough to eat." "Oh, don't worry about that," said the woman. "You can have as much as you like. Just say to your goat, 'Bleat, goat, bleat, and bring me lots to eat.' Then you'll have plenty. When you don't want any more, just say, 'Bleat, goat, bleat, I've had so much to eat.' Then the rest will vanish just like this." And the old woman vanished just like that. Think that'll work? Two Eyes couldn't wait to try. She said to the goat, "Bleat, goat, bleat, and bring me lots to eat." Look at all that food. The goat bleated and a little table and chair appeared. The table was set with a tablecloth, plate, and silverware, and on it were dishes and dishes of wonderful smelling food. "This sure is better than leftovers," said Two Eyes. She sat down and started in hungrily. Everything tasted delicious. When she'd eaten her fill, she said, "Bleat, goat, bleat, I had so much to eat." And the goat bleated, and the table vanished. And that, said Two Eyes, is better than cleaning up. When Two Eyes got home, she didn't touch her bowl of leftovers. Her sisters didn't notice till she'd gone off to bed. Then Three Eyes said, "Look, our little sister didn't eat anything." "That's strange," said One Eye. "Is someone else giving her food? I'll go tomorrow and watch her." The next morning when Two Eyes started out, One Eye said, "I'm coming along to make sure you tend the goat properly." Then she followed Two Eyes to the meadow and kept a careful eye on her. So Two Eyes never got to use the old woman's rhyme. When they got home, Two Eyes ate her bowl of leftovers, and then she went off to the woods and cried her two eyes out. The old woman appeared again. "What's wrong, my dear?" "It's my sisters. The goat can't bring me food because One Eye is watching me." "Don't worry about that," said the woman. "You can stop her if you like. Just sing her this song. Is your eye awake? Is your eye asleep? Is your eye awake? Is your eye asleep?" Keep singing that, and she'll sleep soon enough. Then the old woman vanished. The next morning when Two Eyes went to the meadow, One Eye again went along. Two Eyes said, "Sister, let me sing to you." And she sang to her over and over, "Is your eye awake? Is your eye asleep? Is your eye awake? Is your eye asleep?" One Eye's eyelid began to droop, and soon she was fast asleep. Then Two Eyes said to the goat, Bleat, goat, bleat, and bring me lots to eat. The goat bleated, the table appeared, and Two Eyes ate her fill. Then she said, Bleat, goat, bleat, I've had so much to eat. The goat bleated again, and the table vanished. Then Two Eyes shook her sister, saying, Wake up, sleepyhead! When they got home, Two Eyes didn't touch her leftovers. After she'd gone off to bed, Three Eyes said, What happened? How should I know, said One Eye. I fell asleep. If you think you can do better, then you go tomorrow. So the next morning, when Two Eyes went to the meadow, Three Eyes went along and kept 3 careful eyes on her. Listen, said Two Eyes, and I'll sing to you. And she sang to her over and over. Is your eye awake? Is your eye asleep? Is your eye awake? Is your eye asleep? As Two Eyes sang, the eye on her sister's forehead went to sleep, but her other 2 eyes didn't. Three Eyes pretended, though, by closing them almost all the way and peeking through. She couldn't quite hear what Two Eyes told the goat, but she saw everything. That night, when Two Eyes had gone off to bed, One Eye asked, What happened? Our sister knows a charm to make the goat bring wonderful food, said Three Eyes. But I couldn't hear the words. Then let's get rid of the goat, said One Eye, and they drove it off into the woods. The next morning, One Eye told Two Eyes, You thought you could eat better than your sisters, did you? Well, the goat is gone, so that's that. Two Eyes went down to the stream and cried her 2 eyes out again. The old woman appeared. What's wrong, my dear? It's my sisters. The song didn't work on Three Eyes. She saw everything, and now they've chased away the goat. Silly girl, that charm was just for One Eye. For Three Eyes, you should have sang, Are your eyes awake? Are your eyes asleep? But don't worry about that. Here, take this seed and plant it in front of your cottage. You'll soon have a tall tree with leaves of silver and apples of gold. When you want an apple, just say, Apple hanging on the tree, I am Two Eyes, come to me. It will fall right into your hand. Again, the old woman vanished. Two Eyes went home and waited till her sisters weren't looking, then dug a small hole and planted the seed. The next morning, a tall tree stood before the cottage with leaves of silver and apples of gold. Two Eyes found her sisters gaping at it in astonishment. All at once, Three Eyes cried, Look, a man! And riding toward them was a knight in full armor, his visor over his face. Quick, said One Eye, hide our little sister. So they lowered an empty barrel over Two Eyes. Good morning, ladies, the knight said as he rode up. Beautiful tree you have there. I would dearly love to have one of those apples. In fact, I would grant anything in my power to the lady who first gave me one. The 2 sisters gasped. They scrambled over to the tree and jumped up and down trying to grab the apples, but the branches just lifted themselves higher, so the apples were always out of reach. Meanwhile, Two Eyes raised her barrel just a little and kicked the stone so that it rolled over to the knight. That's odd, he said. That stone seems to have come from that barrel. Does anyone happen to be in there? Oh, no, sir, said One Eye. Not really. Just our little sister. She's different, said Three Eyes, so we can't let anyone see her. But I want to see her, said the knight. Young lady, please come out. So Two Eyes lifted off the barrel. My word, said the knight. She's the loveliest young lady I've ever seen. He raised his visor for a better look. Oh no, screamed One Eye and Three Eyes together. Two eyes! Sure enough, the knight had two eyes just like their sister. Dear lady, said the knight, can you give me an apple from that tree? Of course, said Two Eyes. Standing under it, she said, apple hanging on the tree, I am Two Eyes, come to me. An apple dropped right into her hand, and she gave it to the knight. My thanks, he said, and now I will grant you anything in my power. Well, to start with, said Two Eyes, you can take me away from these horrid, hateful sisters. So the knight took Two Eyes back to his castle. And since they had so much in common, after all, they both had two eyes, you can be sure they lived happily ever after. As for One Eye and Three Eyes, day after day they stood under that tree and repeated their sister's words. Apple hanging on the tree, I am Two Eyes, come to me. But the apples never fell for them, and they never did figure out why.
They don't have 2 eyes. Yeah.
And the little goat says, bleep. Pretty good, huh? All right, Miss Lisa.
I have a story for you. This is called This for That. Yeah, right. In a very dry region north of the Limpopo River, there once was a water hole where animals came to drink. One morning when Rabbit went there, she found only dried mud. A lion then, an elephant came, and they began to dig a well. Sand flew, choo-choo-choo, digging a well. The rabbit did not help at all, but when the water finally came into the hole, she was the first to try a drink. The lion growled, "Grr, go away, Rabbit. You didn't help dig, so no water for you." Reluctantly, Rabbit hopped away. Soon she met an ostrich. "Oh, Ostrich," she cried, "Lion and Elephant have dug a well, and they won't let me drink." "Come with me," said the ostrich. "I will find us some watery berries." And with his sharp eyes, he did find some. The two ate and ate, and they picked the rest of the berries and hid them under a thorn bush. Later that day, Rabbit went to see if the berries were safe. They were safe. She ate one, and then another, and then another. They tasted so good that she ate them all up. At that moment, she saw the ostrich coming. Now, she didn't have time to hide, and so she called out, "Oh, Ostrich, somebody ate our berries." Ostrich looked under the thorn bush. The berries were gone. He said, "If I find the one who ate those berries, I'm going to kick him to the moon." Rabbit did not want to be kicked, and so he said, "Ostrich, you ate them yourself. You are the only one who knew where they were." "I did not," said Ostrich. "Pay me for my berries," demanded the rabbit. "Pay for the berries that I didn't eat? I will not," said the ostrich. "Pay me with a feather," said the rabbit. "Then one of us will be happy." "Oh, well," said the ostrich, "if a feather will make you happy, here." And he gave the rabbit a very beautiful plume from his tail. Rabbit went off laughing very softly to herself. Soon she came upon a man who was cooking a chunk of meat over the fire. When the man saw the ostrich plume the rabbit was carrying, he said, "Let me feel your feather." So he took it and stroked it, and he put it on his head, and he danced around the fire. But the wind caught that feather and blew it into the fire. Uh-oh, the feather was gone. Rabbit sang a sad song. Oh, my feather is gone, the feather I got for my berries, the berries that are all eaten up. Uh-oh, now I have nothing. Don't be sad, little rabbit, said the man. I'll give you my... What do you think he's going to give him? He gave him his meat. Rabbit took the meat and went on her way. Presently, she met a woman who was carrying a bowl of sour milk up on her head. The woman said, "Will you give me that meat for my sour milk?" "No," said the rabbit, "but you can make a fire and we'll heat the meat and then I will let you eat it with me. I will sleep under this tree and you must call me when the meat is ready." Then she lay down and went to sleep. But when the meat was hot, the woman did not call the rabbit. She ate it herself as fast as she could. Yum, 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 yum. She ate it all up. When the rabbit woke up, there was nothing left but the bone. And so Rabbit sang a sad song. My meat is gone. The meat I got for my feather. The feather I got for my berries. The berries that I ate, or that I had, were all eaten up. Uh-oh, now I have nothing. Here, said the woman, why don't you take my sour milk instead? And so the rabbit took the sour milk and went on her way. But she didn't want the sour milk. And so she pondered about how she was going to get rid of that sour milk. Further on, Rabbit came to a large ant hill. I know, she said, that ants will pay for my sour milk. So up on the ant hill she scrambled with her bowl of milk. But near the top she slipped. The milk slopped out. The rabbit and the bowl went rolling down. Down they go. Soon the ant queen, see her right there, came out of the hill. And the rabbit said to her, "See what your hill did to me?" And then she sang a song. My sour milk is gone, the milk I got for my meat, the meat I got for my feather, the feather I got for my berries, the berries that are all eaten up. Uh-oh, now I have nothing. Now the ant queen said to one of her workers, "Why don't you fill that bowl with winged ants?" And that's what they did. The rabbit set off with a bowl of winged ants. Lion will like these, he said, and I will go to the well and get some water. And she hurried back to the well and found the lion still guarding the well. Look, lion, said the rabbit, see what I have? Winged ants, and I will give them to you in exchange for some water. Go away, snarled the lion. Elephant will be mad at me if I let you have water. I know how to trick the elephant, said the rabbit. You go ahead and pretend to be asleep, and I'm going to tie you up. And then you can say that you could not stop me from getting the water. Now, the lion really liked winged ants, but he did not like to catch them one by one. And so he looked at the bowl full of them and said, "Go ahead, Rabbit, tie me up." Rabbit found a long vine, and she wound it around the tree and around the lion. And as she worked, the lion asked, "Where did you get all those winged ants?" Rabbit said, "Queen Ant gave them to me for the sour milk." "What sour milk did you have?" asked the lion. "Oh, it's the milk I got for the meat." "What meat did you have?" "Oh, the meat I got for my feather." "What feather did you have?" "Well, the feather I got from the ostrich for the berries I did not eat." "What?" cried the lion. "I ate them and told him that he did it." The rabbit just laughed and laughed. At that moment, out of the bush came the ostrich. His wings were spread and he looked 3 times his size. "What?" he roared. "It was you that ate our berries." "Don't kick me, don't kick me," begged the rabbit. "I'll pay you for the berries. I'll pay you with these winged ants." "You can't pay him with my ants," cried the lion. "But I didn't give them to you yet," said the rabbit. "Give them to me now," bellowed the lion. But the rabbit gave the ants to the ostrich, and then she ran to the well and got a drink. And just as she began to lap up the water, the lion roared. Rabbit was so scared that she fell plop right into the water. Help me, she cried. Ostrich reached in and plucked her out. Then he sat her down and let the rabbit climb up onto his back with the bowl of the winged ants in her arms. Just then, out of the bush came the elephant. "Oh, elephant," cried the lion, "get me away from this tree. I have to catch that rabbit." Elephant said, "I don't know how to get a lion away from a tree, but I know how to get the tree away from the lion." And so she wrapped her trunk around the tree and pushed and grabbed. Up it came. The lion, though, was still tied to the tree. Ostrich set off with the rabbit, taking the bowl of ants clinging to her back. And then came the elephant, carrying the tree, with the roaring, kicking lion still tied to it. And soon the ostrich and the rabbit, though, were far ahead. Rabbit was so happy. She said, "Oh, ostrich, I love you." And she snuggled against the big bird's skinny neck. But as she did, she dropped the bowl, and away went the ants all over the path. "Oh, no," wailed Rabbit, for now she had nothing to give the ostrich to pay him for the berries to make up for the lie she had told. And when the bowl of winged ants fell, Ostrich shook her off his back. Then he kicked her so hard that although she didn't go to the moon, she saw stars. Lion and elephant saw this, and they were pleased that justice had been done. And when the ostrich helped untangle the lion from the tree, he said, "A lie may travel far, but the truth will overtake it." You know you could never get away with a lie, right? That's the story of the rabbit. You like that one? That was pretty good. All right, so right now we have a little activity that we want to do. I'm going to give each of you guys a couple of these cards. Here's 4 for you, and here's 4 for you. So look through those and decide which one you want to do first. Clayton, you want to come put one up here on our board, and you're going to look at the pictures and tell us which one is different. Oh, you got some frogs. Which one's different? Yeah, that one is. That's right. Good job. Go back and pick another one. Lynx, why don't you bring yours up? What do you got? Oh, some puppy dogs. Which one is different? That one, because he's happy, right? The others are sad. All right, Clayton, bring us another one. Oh, flowers. Which one's different?
That one.
Yeah, why?
Because it's the red one.
Yeah, it's red, right? The others are yellow. Good. All right, Lynx. Oh, what do you got there? Some rabbits. Which one's different? Yeah, it's a toy one, right? The other ones are pink. All right, Clayton, bring another one. What you gonna put up here? Oh, some duckies. Which one is different?
That one.
Yeah, the one in the middle with his beak closed. All right, Lynx, what you got? Oh, that one's very different, isn't it? Which one's different? That one, yeah. It's a little sideways, too. All right, Clayton, do your last one. What one do you have? You're going to fix it? Okay. All right. Butterflies. Which one's different? The yellow one. All right, Lynx, here's your last one. Where are you going to put it? Oh, you got some flowers, too. You like to go sideways, don't you? Oh, the blue iris is different than those red tulips. Good job, guys.
Good. All right, we have one more shorter story. Olive and the Big Secret. Molly told Olive a secret. "You mustn't tell anyone," said Molly. "I will never tell," said Olive. So now Olive had a secret. Who has a secret? Olive. You got to remember that Olive is the one that has the secret. Olive knew she should keep the secret to herself. She knew she shouldn't tell anyone, but maybe she would just tell her friend Jessie. But really she shouldn't. So you're thinking about it? Olive couldn't stop thinking about the secret. She thought about it while she jumped rope. She knew she shouldn't tell, but Olive thought she would just tell her friend Ziggy. Guess what? Olive said. What? Said Ziggy. Oh, nothing, said Olive. This secret was really hard to keep. Olive thought she would just tell her friend Joe. So she did. But you can't tell anyone, said Olive. Now Joe had a secret. He thought about it all the way to his swimming lesson. He thought about it in the locker room. He knew he shouldn't tell, but Joe thought he'd just tell his friend Matt. Sputter, said Matt. But you can't tell anyone, said Joe. Now Matt had a secret. Matt wasn't very good with keeping secrets. He told the first friends he saw, Lola and Bee. Oh, said Lola. Bee didn't care very much about secrets. Come on. Well. Now Lola had a secret. She thought about it while she finished her milkshake. Then she said goodbye to Bee. She couldn't wait to tell because Lola's best friend was Molly. And Lola told her everything. Molly's secret was out. And she knew just who had told it. Who told it? Who was it in the beginning? Olive. How did you know? I mean, it wasn't me. Who told you? I never told Lola. I just. What's a person to say, huh?
Yeah.
And do you want to know what Molly told Olive, who told Joe, who told Matt, who told Lola, who told Molly? Would you like to know? Would you really like to know what they told?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to tell you, but it's a secret! Oh, Miss Kim, really? And then who's this? Remember who this is?
Olive.
Olive. She says, psst, psst. I don't know. Do you know what the secret is?
Yep.
I don't know much about it. Do you?
Yep.
Too much? Okay. Well, I love those little secret books. There's other little books like that at the library that are different stories about keeping a secret, and they're all really, really fun. Well, it's been really nice to have you today for our story time. We want to remind you that we always like to put together a packet of activities that go with our story time. You can pick those up down at the library in the children's department. For now, we're just going to say goodbye.